Hi everyone, I'm Paige Abbott with Health Upwardly Mobile, and as a continuation of my series on boundaries, this week I wanted to talk about boundaries and action. In the previous weeks, I've talked about starting to identify your needs so that you can establish what your boundaries are, the option of communicating your boundaries, but recognizing you can't do that with an attachment to outcome. And this week, what I'm meaning by boundaries and action is once you have some clarity on what you need and what your boundaries are, the main part of boundaries is the action. Remembering that boundaries are an inside job. It is not up to anyone else on the planet to enforce or maintain your boundaries other than you. Boundaries are an inside job, not an external one. So as soon as we're relying on somebody else to maintain or uphold our boundaries, we've moved out of boundaries and now we're into expectations and possibly control. Boundaries are enforced through action. So once we have that establishment of what we need, we then need to be clear on what action we're prepared and able to take, and then take it if needed, if our boundaries are being violated. So if I have a need to be treated with respect and I find myself in a conversation where I'm being treated with disrespect, then I need to be prepared to take action. I can exit that conversation, I can shift the conversation in a different direction, I can speak up, but recognizing that that's a request, that's not the full action of the boundary. I still need to be prepared that if I make that request for someone to maybe shift in a different direction, hey, can we maybe not talk about this right now? If that conversation continues to happen, it's up to me to decide what I'm going to do with that. So boundaries and action are critical. A lot of people get caught in thinking if I'm clear on what I need and if I've communicated what I've needed, then I'm good. That's the work of boundaries. It's that essential third step of action that is critical. So really be clear on what you are prepared to do if your boundaries are being violated. And at the end of the day, exiting or taking a break from the situation is always a really good alternative and option because it allows that distance and it really can allow the maintenance of that boundary for self. So I hope that all of you, as you've been going through this boundary series, I hope that you're working on developing more clarity on what you need. You're now not as caught up in communicating your boundaries to other people, and now you'll start to really think about action. How can you maintain and uphold your own boundaries and needs through your own action? Thanks so much for being a part of this series so far. I think I have one more week of some things I want to talk about with regards to boundaries, but who knows, there's so much to talk about, it may go on for a little bit longer. Thanks for watching, bye for now.